League right there getting a little bit of heat. And I don't know, the game between Real Madrid and Chelsea, that is the one that got me. Well, they actually did play well. Real Madrid did play well. They deserved the win. And a lot of anticipation was there on Chelsea losing this game. They just fell into that anticipation, but also the red card didn't help because that was even before they could get efforts into scoring. So once the red card came in, really the hopes were shattered. But I still believe there is another chance when they meet again. That is at Stamford Bridge next week for the second leg. We do hope that they are able to probably sharpen up. A lot can happen in a game in the 90 minutes, so maybe they can make that count. But also we did see AC Milan getting ahead of Napoli by 1-0 win as well. But also Napoli itself also got a red card. It was a lot of you know, I don't know, mixed reactions from the both plays, and I think for now we'll take it that Real Madrid is getting ahead of that, and of course AC Milan joining into the earlier teams that also did at least take a lead in the quarterfinals. Well, we'll be having more on that, but also talking about red cards. This morning I had an interesting conversation about the game of cricket. Now, I'm told there hasn't been any kind of red cards. Like, for them, foul play, you're sent off the pitch, but not with a red card. So I think cricket is actually a good game that you could be looking at, especially if you don't want any red cards that do come through. But with me in studio today, I do have guests and here to talk about cricket and for us to understand more about this game where we don't have to get red cards here. I have Mr. Dennis here, Dennis Musali, who is the communication manager for Uganda Cricket Association with me this morning, as well as Patricia Malemika, who is a medium pace bowler, and we'll be talking about cricket this morning. You're most welcome. Very much thanks for joining us this morning. Dennis, say hello to our viewers.
Hello all the viewers and good morning. I'm glad to be here.
Well, Patricia, very many thanks for joining us this morning. How do you feel about cricket, the game of cricket? Right now we talk football, but talk to us about that different feeling with cricket and football.
Well, cricket is a nice game, I would say. I enjoy playing it, and I feel like it's part of me. Like, I've played cricket for a long time, and being part of cricket really makes me feel good.
So you feel the difference, like cricket is one recommendation you would tell someone, this is the game you have to be in?
Yes. 100%.
Very interesting, very interesting. But also I understand that we do have the national team, that is the Victoria Pearls, who have quite been making us proud. What are the statistics, by the way, for this year? How have we been performing? Also from last year, I think, the Victoria Pearls. How have you been performing, Patricia, if you can walk us through that?
We've been fairly performing okay, because we won our last tournament that was in Kenya. Yeah.
Wow, that was last year or this year?
Last year in December.
Okay. That's good news, because we do have an upcoming tournament, and I think that will bring in a lot of questions right now. I understand we do have the Ghana team that is preparing right now for an upcoming tournament. That is also the international tournament that will be hosting the states, the countries within the East African community, and of course hosted by the Uganda Cricket Association. Now, Dennis, we want you to talk to us more about that. What is it about, and what are we expecting? What teams are going to be participating in this tournament?
So we shall be hosting the Victoria Series. This is going to be the second edition of the tournament. We first had the first edition in 2019. It had 3 countries, Uganda, Kenya and Zimbabwe. Victoria, of course, is a common word between amongst all the three countries, so that's why we call it the Victoria Series. But of course, we were disrupted by COVID. We didn't have the subsequent editions then, but now we're going to have our second edition after coming through all what happened with COVID. And this time we have 5 nations taking part. We shall have the East African nations, Rwanda, Tanzania, Kenya, including Uganda, who are the hosts, plus a visiting team from the UAE, who will be the UAE ladies. So there will be 5 nations in the tournament, and the tournament starts on the 16th and will end on run all the way up to the 23rd. So the teams arrive on the 16th. They will have a rest day on the 17th, obviously, and then the action will start on Tuesday, which is the 18th, and we shall have a game every day at Lugogo Cricket Oval up to until Sunday, when we'll have the final of the whole tournament. So it's basically a tournament for the women. Like Patricia has mentioned, she's from the Victoria Pals team. The Victoria Pals will be hosting all the other teams, and hopefully that as the hosts, they will be able to win their own tournament.
Yeah, and I think that's interesting that we're actually hosting these games. We would want to know the impact. What does it mean for us to be hosting this tournament, and what does that even reflect on the Ugandan Association of Cricket, and the impact on Uganda status, especially when it comes to the game of cricket?
It's of huge importance for us to be hosting the tournament. I think last year the Victoria Pals played 4 international tournaments, but they were all away from home. They went to Namibia, they went to Nepal, went to Rwanda, and also went to Kenya, where they played their games. However, when you host events, it gives you an opportunity, one, to raise the profile of your team. So all the local fans who've been following the girls will be able to watch them playing here. And the tournaments they played away from home, they did very well. They won 2 of those and did fairly well in the other 2. So imagine winning, but they were away from home and people were not able to watch them. And this time, if they play from home and people are able to watch them and cheer for them, it's a very good thing. So one, it helps us as the Cricket Association to raise the profile of our ladies team. The men have been a bit very popular in the news, but the women, our women's team is equally very good. They are ranked 21st in the world and 4th in Africa, so it is important for us to also throw a lot of light on them and make sure that the spotlight is on them as well. So hosting the tournament is going to, one, help us raise the profile of our Victoria Pals team, also give a chance to local fans and young girls who want to take up the game, an opportunity for them to watch the girls in action. So we are very, very excited that we've had this opportunity to be able to host for other teams to allow to come here and play against our team, and also to be able to host this particular event, because later in the year the Victoria Pals have World Cup qualifiers, and this is one of the events they're using to make sure they prepare themselves for those qualifiers that will happen in September.
Quite a huge home advantage as well, as they prepare for the world qualifiers. But also, Patricia, how prepared are the Victoria Pals right now? We could be anticipating for us winning the tournament, but walk us through that.
Well, the Victoria Pals are prepared, and we are calling upon all Ugandans to come and support us. Like, our coaches have been training us, and we feel like we're prepared to play the tournament. Like, we shall give in our best, like, since we are hosting.
Yeah. What should us, the fans, I've recently also been joining into the fan base. Yeah. What should the fans and well-wishers expect from this play, from the matches?
The fans should expect good cricket. Yes.
And because you look at the fact that it's a ladies tournament, you do have the qualification for the men as well that have been ongoing. How different is it when you look at now the focus going onto the ladies side and their performances across Uganda? For you as a player, Patricia, you're a pace bowler. Yeah. For you as a player, how do you look at the difference that the ladies teams are now bringing on board compared to what the men have been doing?
How do I feel about that? Feels good. I feel like ladies have also been put into a program whereby it's going to improve on ladies cricket, hence making us like get much into the game, since cricket is growing for ladies worldwide.
Well, there you have it. And again, we need to know about the schedule for this tournament, and how do we already have fixtures on how the teams are going to be playing, Dennis?
Yeah, we do have the fixtures already. Like I mentioned, the games will start on Tuesday. Uganda will be playing in the afternoon. A crunch game for them. They'll be taking on Rwanda.
So Uganda is starting.
Yes, there are 2 games every day, and both of them will be at Lugogo. They are playing a shorter version, so you can be able to have 2 games in a day. So the first game of the day, the opening game of the tournament, will be UAE taking on Kenya in Lugogo, and the second game, that will be the home side Uganda, will be taking on Rwanda in the afternoon. So there are 2 games each day, every day in Lugogo. So if you're still caught up, if you're still doing the morning show in the afternoon, you can always come by and catch up with Uganda. So there are 2 games every day.
Nice one.
There are 2 games every day, so you can be able to come to Lugogo and be able to watch the cricket. Entrance is absolutely free for anyone who wants to come and watch. And I mean, accessing Lugogo is very, very easy. A lot of people associate with Lugogo with music concerts, but now it's going to be a place for cricket. So if you can be able to come to Lugogo, please come by. So from Tuesday all the way up to Sunday, we shall be having 2 games. It's only on Sunday we'll have 1 game in the afternoon, which will be the final. But all the other days of the week, we shall have at least 2 games every day. And you can come. It's not just Uganda. UAE, Uganda is in this tournament, but they are the third. They are the 3rd in terms of ranking in the whole tournament. So the UAE and Tanzania are seemingly better than us in terms of rankings. So there will be very good cricket happening. So you can come down. You will be surprised by how well our girls play, and not just our girls, but the rest of the girls. You'll be surprised by how well they play. So we encourage everyone to come down to Lugogo who can. Bring the kids. Cricket is it's a family game. It's not just for the elders. So you can bring the children, and for them to come and watch and cheer for the Victoria Pearls.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned UAE and Tanzania being quite ahead of us in terms of how they play, and that also raises the bar quite high for us. Yes, we have a home advantage, but I would guess that we are also in anticipation that they will be bringing it up, especially in terms of performance. What are the expectations from the other teams now that are coming in from the East Africa community, but also from the UAE, that you get the Victoria Pearls can now prepare for?
I think one of the things that really sets up this tournament very well is that for the UAE, they are coming here as a team to lose, because they will have to beat up on everyone who's below them, so the pressure is on them. And then, unlike all the other teams, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania and Rwanda, we are all familiar enemies. There's very good rivalry between the teams. So when the Ugandans beat the Kenyan, when the Ugandan girls meet the Kenyan girls, it will be war. When the Kenyan girls meet the Tanzanians, it will be another war. When the Rwandans meet the Kenyans, it will be all war. So the cricket all round is going to be very, very exciting, because for the East Africans, they've played each other quite a number of times, so they know each other very well. And it's the UAE who are coming in a bit of unfamiliar territory. They don't know what to expect. So, and every team will be looking at beating them up. So it is important. All the games, for me, I feel are going to be very, very exciting, especially the East African derbies. You don't want to miss a game between Uganda and Kenya. You don't want to miss a game between Uganda and Tanzania. And Rwanda now are the rising team in the region, so they're also coming here with a point to prove. They may come here as the lowest ranked team, but they are coming here with a point to prove, because
they might actually surprise
exactly
people,
because they are the rising team in the region. So they feel like they want to make a case for themselves that we belong with you guys. So you need to take us very, very serious. So I feel that the cricket is going to be exciting. Maybe the most exciting game could be between Rwanda and Kenya, and not even Uganda and someone else. So it's important that you don't miss out on any of the games. But make sure that if you have an opportunity, make sure you pass by Lugogo the whole of next week and watch some cricket.
Well, there you have it, Ugandans. First of all, Lugogo Cricket Oval, the primary focus is on cricket. So don't be going to Lugogo for just the music concerts. You now have a chance to actually show up for the primary role at the Cricket Oval and watch cricket. But as we move to conclude, Patricia, what can we look forward to, and what would be your conclusive remarks on this as we look forward towards the tournament next week?
Well, I would like to emphasize people to come around and support cricket. You should expect good cricket. Looking forward to seeing everyone.
Oh, that is good. Dennis, as we move to conclude, what are the expectations? Also, I think about a lot of people know where the Cricket Oval is. We now know the dates. What shouldn't we miss out on?
One, we as organizers, we are praying for good weather because cricket and rain do not mix, but we are hoping for good weather. Once we have good weather, I'm sure we shall have good cricket. Secondly, like Patricia has mentioned, we encourage everyone to come out, take time off work, and this time come and support the Victoria Pals. Last year, a lot of fans came out to support the men's team, who are the cricket cranes, but this time we encourage everyone to come and support the Victoria Pals. They are a very exciting group, very young girls, and for the first time, I think we are one of the few associations in Uganda where our ladies are fully contracted. They earn something from cricket every month, so it's good to see if you come and give them that support as well, to give them that extra morale to make sure they do well for the nation. Like I mentioned, from the 18th up to the 23rd, the games will be happening in Lugogo, free of charge. We have made sure that we made good preparations to have everything available within Lugogo for those that come down and have a very good time, and we look forward to a very good week, week of cricket. And for those that can't make it, we've made it available online, so there will be an online stream for those that cannot be able to watch, cannot come to Lugogo but want to follow the game. So there will be an online stream that is available. All you need to do is follow Uganda Cricket Association on all our social media channels, and we'll be sharing the updates about the games.
Well, there you have it from that is Dennis Musali, who is the communication manager at the Uganda Cricket Association, and Patricia, who is also the pace bowler for the Victoria Pals. Looking forward to quite an interesting tournament that is coming up. Well, you can pass by Lugogo, and also excited about the fact that it will have an online platform. Well, we'll leave it at that. We do have a Good Morning Uganda extra that will be coming in right after this. For now, we'll leave you with that. Good morning.